Okay, I think we're live, huh? Isn't it? All right. So I reacted to this. I think day before yesterday, but for some reason my headphone mic was switched off and it was all muted. I couldn't hear anything. I thought, damn it! I hate it when this thing happens now because you have to like re-react and then I generally don't like to re-react to things. But here I am. So I'm not been well for about 3 weeks now. This horrible flu that I got. I think I'm slowly recovering. Mm, but last week this happened, and everybody is talking about it left and right. I mean, literally, those who are on the left as well as who are on the right, Democrats, Republicans, or whoever, everybody is discussing about it. So this is like one of the biggest pro-Palestinian protests mm, to have happened in the recent times. I think ever. I don't know ever in any country, or I think this could be probably the biggest one in the recent times because it's like there were 90,000 people as per this video, but if you read the comments, it says like it's a lot more, like 200,000 to 300,000 people are like that. Look at the crowd, right? Some of my dance schoolmates went and participated. I was not well, otherwise I probably would have gone. It was like drizzling. I remember that day last week. I don't know, like 3 4 days back. I don't know. I'm not sure. So when was this uploaded? This was uploaded like 5 days ago. Mm, so yeah, I think the protests are getting more and more like vociferous, and now I've myself uploaded of 2 3 I think videos in the past 1 or 2 years, because this is not new in Sydney. Although something on this scale is probably the first time, but I've seen this kind of pro-Palestinian protests happening in Sydney CBD on Sundays, right? So whenever I go to CBD for shopping or whatever, I remember, I think especially on Sunday, whenever I went in the weekends, there always was some kind of a march. They would block the whole this one, right? The Meyer Street. Let me do a Google Maps. You guys can find the videos on my channel if you. So where is David Jones? So you see David Jones here, right? Now we check this Market Street, right? This street would get blocked, so they would start the march all the way from the park, close to the St. James station, right? It would go to this, and then I think they would take the Pitt Street. I don't know. I've never completely followed that. I would just stand here somewhere in front of Meyer or Westfield and then record the whole thing. You guys can find that video on my channel. So this has happened like a couple of times at least. I've recorded it a couple of times. So it's been going on for a while now, but it never got the media coverage for some reason. There probably some kind of agenda, or whatever. But I think the world is slowly waking up, because see, what do I think about it? I'm not. I don't have. Uh, I'm not biased against anyone. I have Muslim friends growing up in India. I have Muslim friends. I have some Jewish friends as well. Although it's not a lot of Jews in India, except for maybe Kerala or like a very significant, not like a minority, not even a significant, like they are a minority. You can like find them in like, and the Jews in India, they go way back, almost like in some cases 2000 years or even 1500 years, or really really old diaspora of Jews that we have in India. But the ones that I know are my colleagues, like back in India when I used to work for an Israeli company, and then there were like a lot of Israelis that worked there. We used to just talk to them like they were like on-site people, and then we used to discuss working on the same project and whatnot. So I'm not against anybody, but I'm a Tamil, right? So I'm always going to be against any kind of oppression, because we ourselves, there's Tamil genocide that's happening in Sri Lanka. So I've been brought up with that in mind. So I'm always going to be against any kind of oppression, whoever it is, like whoever be the oppressed, be it Muslims or Jews or Hindus or Christians or Buddhists or whoever it is. I'm going to be against the against the oppressors. Right. And this case, clearly there's some kind of a genocide that's happening, and children alone, right? They say like 20,000 to 30,000 kids have been killed. Like who and anybody that does that kind of thing is kind of like it's unforgivable in my opinion, because children, what do they know? Like, well, they are helpless. What, you can't even look at them as Muslim kids or Muslim children, or because they don't even understand religion, right? Like you, even adults don't understand religion in this day and age, no? So if you're looking at a kid, a baby, and then looking at a Muslim kid that doesn't deserve to live, I think that's such an inhuman thing to do, to even think of. And I was watching this video the other day where Mehdi Hassan interviewed some I don't know, some journalist or someone who said like he visited Gaza, and there was a smell about Gaza, smell and sound about Gaza that he couldn't, that kind of traumatized him. And I when I heard that, I was like, I it it I don't know, it's such a profound thing for someone to say something like that, unless you witness some really horrible, horrifying things, you wouldn't say anything like that. So that only goes to prove the kind of situation in Gaza. and no one is doing anything to stop this war. I don't know. It's such a sad thing, and I'm glad at least these protests are happening these days. People are being more and more vocal about it. So the more protests we have, because Israeli government, they don't seem to care about any international laws or whatever. Like there's this food blockage, aid blockage, and whatnot, and there's Israeli defense forces, posing in front of Gazan this thing and whatnot, the ruins and whatnot. I saw some pictures of Gaza. It's just it's one of those uh, post-apocalyptic movie scene, like inhabitable environment, right? So I mean, I was sick just for 3 weeks, and I couldn't. I felt, I was like, it was hell, right? But think about this: these kids are experiencing that on a daily basis in Gaza without even uh, having any kind of hope, uh, any kind of, you know, light at the end of the tunnel or whatever. There's literally, yeah, nothing to look forward to. I don't know, like the kind of trauma and the kind of this thing that they must be going through is unimaginable. Yeah, I hope something people, the world leaders, they do something about it. Yeah, and this comes to an end as soon as possible. I think like Julian Assange was there in the march as well. Like, let's watch this video. I don't want to get blocked or whatever, but I'll just watch it for a few seconds. That's crazy, isn't it?
Stop shooting children! Stop shooting children! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine!
Yeah, so this was like, let's go through the comments, what they see. I was there, proud of my fellow Australians from all backgrounds who showed up. This is an interesting comment that I saw. Allow me to add some context since I was there. The majority of the crowd were just ordinary everyday Australians. There were a group of people who clearly were of Middle Eastern extraction who were agitating a little louder and more vigorously than the rest of us and carrying their flags. However, most of us who were there do not give a rat's ass about the politics. We don't give a rat's ass about the religious differences of the region. But we do get very peeved when a government orders its soldiers to fire on hungry kids scavenging for food in the ruins. That's exactly what I feel. See, I'm not a Muslim, but you don't need to be a Muslim to understand this. This is as simple as that. Is some helpless kids getting killed in the name of I don't know, religion or whatever, culture or, see, at the end of the day, you, these kind of hatred and this thing happens because one party thinks that they are superior in a way to the other, right? That's what they say the during the Nazi Holocaust as well. Like, if you watch the movie Inglorious Bastards, right? See, they I read somewhere that the Germans literally thought the Jews to be subhuman, right? I think they, even in the movie, that the guy Christopher Waltz, he calls Jewish people as rats or something like that. It's not just like a word that they use. I think they literally thought of Jewish people as subhuman in the Nazi regime, right? So I think the Israeli government is repeating the same mistake. They think for some reason the Palestinians are somehow less human than the Jewish people. Otherwise, this kind of hatred, like, why you can't, you wouldn't go and shoot at hungry kids if you have any kind of humanity in your heart, right? And then this Trump dude is wants to change Gaza into some kind of a Middle East Las Vegas or something like that. What kind of a sick motherfucker would do something like that? Huh? When people are like literally being ethnically cleansed. Okay, anyway, I think I just wanted to get this off my chest. Yeah, we'll see you guys in another video then, huh?